Fox Carolina News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Talk about a busy day here at Fox Carolina. We are learning new details about a man who was killed after storms swept through Cody County overnight. The coroner confirming he was a contract worker here at BorgWarner's in Seneca, that plant there. It's a huge loss for this community. A tornado hit this area overnight. Governor McMaster just getting some aerial visuals of the damage, saying it's some of the worst damage he has ever seen. And this is from our drone, and you can see just the extent of damage here, folks. Unreal. And fortunately, they were not at work because of COVID-19. Only a few people there, and unfortunately, that 77-year-old man lost his life in that storm overnight. Just devastation there at BorgWarner. Tori. And again, if you're joining us, just going to walk you through why the president is in Western North Carolina. This is all to visit a Farmers to Families food box program site, and that is Flavors First in Mills River. About 200 employees work there, but again, they supply a lot of farmers, local farmers, and that's what this visit is about. And this tour is going to show, this is actually Flavor First here outside there, and this is there in Mills River. And inside this facility is where they box these fresh food boxes. And literally within 24 hours, they're put into a refrigerated truck and taken out. And it's to show the president and Ivanka how these are actually done. And And you heard the president being announced, and there is his daughter following him. We'll listen in just for a moment here. Tori, thanks so much. And again, we just have so much video into us from our crews out there who've been there literally since the sun came up. And look at this damage there. You can see where a tree went through that home there. And just a lot of damage. People listening from families who had to take those phone calls this morning. A lot of people just trying to make sure everybody is safe. Fox Carolina's Jennifer Phillips actually still in front of that home we just showed you video of in Seneca. And just unreal, Jen. We knew this was a potential that we could see this outbreak. Breaking news, we are on the scene in Anderson County along West Market Street, and you can see a huge law enforcement presence. This is the Anderson County Sheriff's Office. We have reached out to find out what exactly is happening, but again, this is still unfolding. We got a tip about a huge scene here, and it remains this way now 2.5 hours later. We do know from dispatch this was some type of traffic stop. Now, a witness out there has told us they believe there was some type of music video being shot here that got busted. Our crew has seen some narcotics being carried around by the law enforcement there, and also a possible weapon. But again, a lot of things happening here, a lot of investigations still underway. As we get more information confirmed from the Anderson County Sheriff's Office, we'll pass it along. But right now, all we know is a very large scene that stemmed from some type of traffic stop almost 2 hours ago on West Market Street in Anderson County. Stay with us here on air, and we're streaming this in our Fox Carolina News Facebook page video as well.
The 10 o'clock news starts right now.
Isaias transitions back to a hurricane. The Category 1 storm has its eye on South Carolina. We'll check in to see where it could make landfall in a matter of hours.
Good evening, I'm Victoria Carmen.
And I'm Cody Alcorn. Thanks for joining us on the 10 o'clock news. And what a day. We had localized flooding here in the upstate, and then along the coast we have now a hurricane. And Kendra, a lot of people wondering if what we saw this evening is tied to Isaias.
Yeah, it's interesting.
We now return you to Education in a Pandemic, only on Fox Carolina, the school station.
Welcome back. Many education leaders are encouraging more in-person learning.
That's right. And tonight we are joined by South Carolina Education Superintendent Molly Spearman, who is pushing for the change. She joins us from her Columbia office. Thanks so much for being with us, Ms. Spearman. And we'll start off with you sent a letter to state superintendents and school board members last week urging them to consider returning to more traditional face-to-face instruction for students who are struggling with hybrid learning. So how can districts do this safely?
Fox Carolina News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Cody County picking up the pieces tonight after an EF3 tornado ripped through the area with winds up to 160 miles an hour, leaving a 16-mile-long trail of devastation. The National Weather Service says this tornado was at least a half a mile wide.